Hi, welcome to another edition of MTG Playback. I'm Mark. I'm an actual pastor who enjoys playing Magic the Gathering, and this whole series is where I play a game of Magic the Gathering on Arena and then talk about it. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? And what did my opponent do? And what should I have recognized my opponent doing while it was taking place? And so I'm still playing my blue-white angel deck because that's the deck that I have. It's a version of the standard deck that I use in real life, and I just want to try to get better at my gameplay, making sure I'm making the right choices at the right time. And so as you can see from this opening hand, I've got three lands, three good lands that would be helpful. I only have one 3-drop creature, and then I have 3 spells. This is not a good hand. And I am hoping when I play this hand that because I have the lands that I need, that maybe some creatures will come on the board. So let's watch the rest and see what happens. All right, play a land, play my Seacombe Coast, and let's go. So I have to make a decision. I have a negate that I can use pretty early. I have to decide what I want to do. I noticed that they play a version of a dual land, just like I did. So I decided to stop there on their end of the turn. I can either use my negate or I can flash in my Fairy Mastermind. So here comes the invasion of Aragonmon, which allows them to create a treasure token. This is probably not the right move to make. I didn't really recognize that invasion. I didn't realize why they used it. I should have been more careful about what to use. So I decided, you know what, again, I'm going to wait instead of casting my Metropolitan Reformer so I can flash in my Fairy Mastermind and have another creature on the board. Now they play the Azuzas of Many Journeys, so now I know they're going to play a deck that's going to probably try to get an Araxa, some type of big creature out. This would have been better to have my negate, because now they get to play another land for turn, and now they're ahead on lands. Flash in my Fairy Mastermind just to have it on board. Draw another land. This isn't great. Now, I wish I had at least 1 or 2 other creatures by now in my hand. That would have been helpful. I see that this is going to move forward, but that enchantment has already got what it wants, which is that initial extra land out onto the board. So I decide at this point, you know what, I'm going to kill it. Again, I think looking back, as you'll see later on, this is probably the mistake, because that land has already done what it's supposed to do. Now they've got 5 lands. That's a lot. Invasion of Zendikar, which means they're going to have 2 more. So I know by this point something big is going to hit me pretty quickly, and I really don't have much to protect it or to do anything about it. It would have been helpful now to have that Destroy by Evil. I have multiple ones in my deck, so I'm hoping I grab it. But I don't. Instead, I grab another land, put down a Metropolitan Reformer. I've got 2 Fading Hopes, which is not helpful for big creatures who do ETBs. So I'm not hopeful at this moment. Alright, so they bring another creature on board who can, guess what, bring in more mana. Another invasion to return things from their graveyard. So that means the other invasion and the... what's it called? The other invasion and the enchantment is coming back into their hand. I already know those 2 cards. I've got 3 Fading Hopes. I have 4 Fading Hopes in my deck, and 3 of them in my hand on like the turn 5. And that's a problem. So I'll swing in, do some damage, see what I can do. I can see they're thinking. I can see they're trying to think about doing something. So they play their enchantment. Gives them an opportunity to play another land. Great. They cast their invasion. Right, so now they get to do the treasure token, and they can discard a card, and if they do, they can draw a card if they want to. They choose not to do that, if I recall. And then they bring Atali. So I didn't recognize that Atali was going to come on the board. And so then they bring Atali, and then they're going to be able to untap Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. So at this time, I know there's like not much I can do. But I want to recognize what Atali does, which is that it's going to exile a non-land card off the top of your library, which is probably going to be a creature. So I want to see what's going to be there. Is there a good creature that I can move to the bottom? If there's a bad creature I can leave on top, or if there's a land or something, what can I get out of the way? So I'm just going to return Gaia to his hands. Probably a mistake. I probably didn't need to do this, but I chose to. There's a planes, uh, and then I remember what Itali does, and I try to get it out of the way. Seven with trample. Not great. Not great. So they're able to bust out a Titan of Industry, and I got an Eterata and Giada, which is really what my deck wants to use. So this is a problem. This is problematic. It's not great. It's not exciting for me. They bring down the Titans of Industry. And so at this point, I know I'm probably going to lose. I don't think I have very many options unless I draw like 2 Destroy Evils right in a row. And so I decided, but you know what? I want to see this game. I want to see how it plays out until it becomes impossible. I don't have any Sunfall. I don't have a Farewell. I don't have anything to destroy everything in this deck. So I'm just going to play it and see what happens. Luckily, get my own area Giada. Then I look and see the next card on my deck is a song. Salvation. Not helpful, really. That 2/3 kind of stops me from attacking. Not really, just because I don't want to lose my creatures, because it's a 2/3 and I don't have anything handy to kill it. They bring back the Gwenna, their Eyes of Gaia. They bring out another Azusa, Many Journeys. I'm not quite sure why they need more land. They're just trying to get more stuff on the board. And they decide to attack. So I was kind of curious why they didn't just try to Leroy Jenkins me. I guess they want to get more and more things off the board. They also probably don't realize that I don't have a mass board wipe in my deck. So I'm deciding what to do. Now this was a mistake because I forgot how trample works. And I probably should just let these things, the invasions, go over. It's not really helpful. But you know what, I'll get rid of this token so that no longer exists. The damage will then give me some life, but it doesn't give me that much life. Only 3. And the invasion does get flipped over, but I'm not sure how big of a difference that makes. I get my Surge of Salvation, and I look at the top of my card, and my next card is a Deserted Beach, which is another land, which isn't really helpful in this case. So now at the sure, I'm not quite sure what to do. Again, I don't attack. I should have used the Fading Hope to bring back the Errata Giada onto my hand, so I have another one. I'm just going to skip through the enchantments because they're just going to keep waiting. Then they bring this interesting card, the Kolga and Yardo. I don't recall seeing this card very much. Again, it's just another big creature that's going to come out on the board. They're trying to knock something out on the board. I decide to target and flip up. And move it and get rid of those. Hopefully Guess has something. Another thing that I didn't do, that I should have done, was during end steps, was to use my extra available mana to draw the extra card that I get through Fairy Mastermind. So it was a mistake that I didn't do this. Like, I could have done it this turn and gotten 2 more cards. So one of the things I need to work on is how to better utilize Fairy Mastermind's ability to force my opponent to draw another card, and so then I get to draw a card and draw another card on top of that. That was a mistake on my part. I have all this extra available mana to do something, and I chose not to do it. Here's another mistake. Even though the invasions are on my side, they don't belong to me. And then the trample's going to go through anyway. So, like, that was a waste. That really was a waste of a surge. So here I'm just waiting. The opponent obviously has a lot of options, a lot of things to look at, a lot of things they can take a gander at their deck. I do not. So yeah, not the best game right now. All right, so I'm down to 16 life. They have 18. Now I should have. What I think I could have done here is instead of flashing this in, use the ability, and then I draw a land. I do get something else off the top of the library. Boop. And then another Fading Hope. So I decide, you know what? No use playing this game anymore. I quit. So a couple things. Misplayed my Surge of Salvation. I misplayed using the Fading Hope. I could have gotten my flyer back, I believe, off their side of the field. I also need to get really better using Fairy Mastermind. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. What did you see? What should I have? What's the dead giveaway you think that comes from Atali decks that I should be able to catch once it happens, once it comes into play? And I will see you next time for MTG Playback.